Okay. All right,
Okay,
Blake. It's so good to see you. How's it going? Are you doing good?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. How are you yourself, Kier?
Absolutely brilliant. Life is good.
That's great. That's
So
great.
I am delighted that you accepted the invite to do this interview because I think what's going to come to light and what you're going to bring out is going to be really special.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to start off just with a couple of simple things, first of all, just so that people can get to know you. So if you could tell me who you are, what it is that you do, and why you do it.
Okay.
Shoot.
My name is Blake Jones, and I've been living in Ireland for the last 21 years. I came here as a child to join my parents living in Ireland already. I came here at the age of 13 in 1999, you know? So I grew up in Ireland, basically. So um, what I do now is where we both are now just discussing now, and I also have a multimedia studio for photography and videography, you know, so that's where my new career has been going now, you know, trying to be someone that talk on common society issues to raise awareness and create a platform, and you know, a platform where people can actually go to discuss this issue or to just understand a reality of what's going on, because it is something that I'm very passionate about, simply because of life experiences, you know. I've had so many careers in my life, you know, but only the last 2 years, I tried to change my career path to go into something that I believe would be life-changing for me and also for so many people around the world, you know. And so this is what I do now, basically. So I've had so many careers in the past, like I said, you know, from banking career to financial career, for different type of careers, you know. But now I decided
So,
this is so.
te- no, you're all good. Tell
Yeah.
me why. So, you have created this incredible platform called Common Society Issues.
Yes.
And from what we've spoken about, and from what I've seen and what I've heard, and from the overview that I'm looking at it from an outside perspective, I
Yeah.
would love to know why it was. What decided you to create something like this? Like, what was the driving force behind it?
Wow. Thank you for this question. I have to honestly think deeply about how I answer this question, because I really don't want to offend anyone, and it all came from personal experiences and our everyday living and the things that are happening around myself personally. And I believe these are things that is common and is happening around the world in general, but in Ireland alone. And let me say, I'm trying to reason in my head how to answer this, because I know definitely I'm going to get in on a lot of people's nerve here. But that's not the point, because the reality is this type of topic are issues that everyone knows somebody that things people are going about, or someone that this is affecting. We all know somebody, but we all decide we just don't want to talk about it because of the stigma attached to it or something, or maybe the morals or the feelings that you get when you discuss this type of issues, like, you know, so we tend to ignore it a lot, or just act like it doesn't exist or it's just not there. You know, this is why I decide, like, we have to bring this to light somehow. And now, to answer your question, is that, you know, why did I do this, or why am I doing this? Is that I feel, one, I need help. A lot of people need help, and a lot of people don't realize or don't know how to seek for help, first of all. You see, I'm a single father, and I see so many issues happening around single mothers as well, in a way, and I see the problems that surrounds these issues, you know. And when you look at, like, fatherless children as well, the issues that actually surround these problems, these are things it touched my heart a lot, because I'm a father, and I understand what it means to be a father, and I understand what fatherless children go through. So how do we raise awareness and how do we talk about these issues that people can realize that some things just don't have to happen, you know? So with life experiences and so many things I went through myself or that I see around me, for example, like I said, I'm gonna hurt some people now, you know? Like let's say my family members, for example, I've got sisters as well, you know? Like 2 of my sisters are single mothers now too, and they've got kids there. And I'm looking at their children growing up without father's presence sometimes. I understand so much of the effect this is going to have on my nephew and nieces. But there are times, and let me tell you this, Ciara, yeah? Because there are times when you're close to somebody and you have a family, this type of discussions are important topics sometimes. You can't even have these conversations with your siblings because for many reasons. One could be they might think you're picking out on them or you're just going against their decision or going against them or whatever happens the case may be. But at the end of the day, we're all selfish to our thoughts, I believe sometimes, because we forget what matters the most, which is the child, the children growing up. You know, like I said at the beginning of answering your question, I'm going to hurt a lot of people. A lot of people I'm going to hurt as well with what I'm doing. They're feminists too. Some feminists, you know, maybe. But, and some people I would also hurt is the government. Because in my own opinion, I believe sometimes the government is incentivizing a way, like maybe some mothers to actually separate or maybe do these things or, you know, from their partners or so. Me talking from personal experiences. But I know one thing, I'm not going against anybody or trying to fight anybody here. You know, that is not the purpose of CSI, and that's not the reason why we're doing this. You see, like I said, I have multiple of talents right now, and I know a way to actually fight this. And this is not a fight. I want to raise awareness and I want to help people. This is why I'm setting up this platform. So why? How am I saying this? Is to show people. Sorry, you wanted to say something there.
No, okay, this is why the platform that you created is so good, because I think when we take ego away from it, and I think when we take our versions of the truth away from it, because everyone has a version of the truth.
100%.
And we take away the idea that there's any hurt, that there's any hurt meant. We take away all of those ideas. And we bring topics to the table and just are vocal about them. We just speak on them. We talk about it. We talk about single fathers. We talk about single mothers. We talk about mental health issues. We talk about divorce. We talk about sexual abuse. We talk about physical health. We talk about 100%. Emotions. We talk about them in a way that's airing the truth, not our truth. It's 100%. The truth.
Truth, correct.
When you take away all that ego and you take away all the emotion or the emotional baggage that comes from something, you give a topic an ability to actually be spoken on from a rational level, even though the situations are usually very emotional.
100%.
Yeah, so what you're doing, and with this platform that you've created, it will do that. So you're not going to be hurting people, you know. What you're doing is you're allowing conversation to happen in 100%. Areas that are really necessary, you know? And you're right. You're 100% right. When we're sitting in our homes with our siblings or our friends and they're doing something that's possibly fundamentally not right when you're looking at the truth, or when they're hurt in a way that you would love to be able to help, but you can't have that conversation because situations are so emotional. Situations are so highly emotive that, like you're saying, you need help and so many people need help, and suddenly there's a platform that you can come and you can say, oh my God, this is like nonsense and this shouldn't be happening, and what do you think? And somebody comes along and goes, well, I've had this experience, this is my experience, this is what happened to me, and they just become debatable topics rather than something that has such a big hold on people. I think what you're doing is absolutely fantastic. I really do. I think it's going to open doors
Thank you
for
so
people.
much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. You 100% get the picture. You
Mm-hmm.
100% get the picture, because when we talk about these issues that are really, really unspoken about, and we have a platform to discuss this, you know, not only that we're going to be saving lives, we're going to be helping people be aware of these things, so that when we have our youths growing up, they understand the fundamental of a simple problem, and they would understand that, you know what, I don't want to experience this in my life. I don't want to have to go through this situation in my life. So they learn from other people's experience. And the whole idea of CSI is that we want to debunk the myth that you're not able to talk about experiences on, you know, on live shows or on TV shows or things like that. You know, all this stigma, the social stigma, we want to eradicate all these stigmas online. You know, that's why, like, anyone can come on board, share their story, and most importantly, share how you overcome your problem, a situation in life, an experience in life. You know, because a lot of people are going through experiences and situations in life, and they think they're alone. And they don't know that, you know, there are many other people who's going through this. But when you come in and come on board and share your own story, you know, when somebody else listening to that, and they're like, oh my God, I'm actually going through this. Thank you for sharing. Actually, I now know how I can go about my problem, simply by watching this program, you know.
Yeah.
And we have, you know, I believe this is going to have so many effects in lives and stuff like that. And I'm also doing this. Let me say, you know, I think this might be something hard to say, but I'm doing this to actually save the mother of my kids as well, in a way, you know, because our understanding of who BJ is before BJ starts all this is different. And there's no way I can actually change a perception of who I am, or how I am a better father, or how I will be a better father to my kids. I can't keep on fighting this, and I cannot keep on going to the court 6 to 8 times every single year. This was messing with my mental health in a way, and I couldn't focus in life as well. But
Yeah.
I know this program is going to actually help her as well understand so many things on so many levels.
The family court system is a very, it's a hard system. It's a very, very hard system, and there isn't one case fits all or one size fits all, and it is very draining and can be so detrimental on mental health. So there have to be better ways to deal with things, and I think the more people that speak on the topic, the more people that get together and actually can learn to speak on things from a place of rational, you know, from
100%.
a place of, okay, this is happening, how do I make it better? This is happening, how can I help this? This is happening, how can I fix it? And that only happens when you open topics up for discussion. That's it.
100%.
You know, it really does. People have to be able to speak without brushing it under the carpet. And because we've been taught that it's much better to not say anything, it's much better to lift up the carpet and keep sweeping than to actually vocalize things and have, you know, adult conversation around stuff. But you're bringing awareness to all of them, and I think it's brilliant.
I was just going to talk about, you know, a little bit about the court thing that you mentioned there before you go into your next question, you know, and I think this is very important for the public to know, and actually maybe for the people of the law or the court itself to understand why we're doing this, you know, because we want people in the government system to know why we're doing this, you know. Like, my experience in the court is very, 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 I don't even know how to put it, you know, it's very bad, one way or the other, just put it that way, you know. And as I think, not only just me, I'm not speaking even only for myself, and I think a lot of men out there can actually testify to this, or maybe share their own experience as well as a man, you know, or as a father going into the Irish court system, you know. And I know one thing for a fact is that there can be many of fathers out there, or many people out there trying to go against the court system or trying to show their way or things like that. Nothing would ever change, you know. But one thing that I know for a fact is that, you know, I can't fight the system. I can't fight the court system or anything. But one way that I know we can show the court system is the reality of what families and people are actually going through. So maybe somehow that they will get a chance themselves to actually watch what fathers are going through, watch what mothers are going through, and watch what children are actually going through in reality. And maybe some things can change in reality versus, you know, just some court system or some act that has been put onto the court, you know, in a way. So that's just one of the important reasons why I believe this channel will be important, you know, for the system in general, you know. So that's what I wanted to say there. Thank you very much.
No worries. Something that's just come to mind, actually, which could be really cool, would be how about interviewing a family law solicitor? You know, bringing somebody who works is in the court on a consistent basis day to day, and who works with families, someone who is, you know, excellent at what they do. We'll find someone to interview and get them to give us their side of how family law works, and then for them to see what it actually looks like on the side of the family, you know, the single father, the single mother, and the kids, who are, as you said, the most important part. So that might be something to look into. We could have a look.
Thank you. That's a fantastic idea. Very, very good idea. Thank you very much, Ciara. That's a fantastic one.
I have somebody in mind. Okay, so my next question that I want to ask you is, how do you think this is going to save your kids? So when you're bringing this to the table, as you're doing these conversations and allowing people the ability to come and speak, how do you think that that's going to give your children the best life possible? How do you think it's going to save them from their situation?
Okay. One thing I know for a fact, there are many ways. One, I'm already on the limelight with this situation, you know, and first, I don't think this was something I could have ever made possible. This common society issues thing. And I was someone that never had the confidence or courage or anything like that, you know, so to speak. But when you've got to fight for something in your life, when you love something so much, or someone so much in your life, which are my kids, and you know you will die for them. And the only reason why, one of the many reasons why I fell into depression, and one of the many reasons why I nearly committed suicide, because I wasn't just so close to them, you know. So many things that I went through in life, you know, when you know you will do anything and you will go as far, you know, I know for a fact this is going to help my children, simply because, you know, like I said, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to argue anymore. I want peace. I want to be happy. I want to be positive, and I want to inspire people, you know, with my story, in a way. So think of it in a way. If it was like, I have my own path, don't get me wrong. I've been a bad father at the beginning. I have also been a bad boyfriend. I was an asshole, sorry to say, to my ex, in a way. In some instance, I'm not a perfect human being. Don't get me wrong, you know, but no one is perfect. So I'm trying to change things in a way. So the way I see this now is that the mother of my kids is also going to be part of the people I'm trying to help worldwide by showing visual information to as to what's happening. And trust me, she wouldn't want that for her children. And she will fight to make sure those children have a father in their life. She will come back to me and say herself, you know what, you can have your kids. Or maybe it could be an instant to be like, you know, maybe I can disrupt what he's doing. Hey, have your kids. You know, you're in the limelight. But it's not all about that. Because one of the examples of the reality that we will be talking about on CSI could be something like, you know, this was an idea I actually had 2 years ago when I first came up with this idea, when I started doing my research. You know, for example, when in 2018, in the first quarter of 2018, in UK, there was about 68 murders, okay? And out of those 68 murders, for example, I just use this as an example, okay? there was about 38 murders. I'm sorry, 38 people that caused the 68 murders. 38 out of them, they're between the age of 14 and 50 years old, okay? And those 38 people between the age of 14 and 50, okay, when they checked the background on them, they all came from fatherless homes. That's more than 50%. You know, what does that teach us, or what does that tell us in a nutshell? They're missing so much of maybe father in their life growing up. So which means like maybe they learn how to be a man on the street. Maybe they learn how to be a man from drug dealers or stuff like that. I don't know. You know, they don't value life the same way you and I, we value life, you know? So tell me, what mother would want a child growing up, you know, without a father in their life, knowing that what they could turn to in 10 years or 20 years time, you know? So what are we going to do on CSI is that sometimes we will show you informations or stuff that could happen when you make a decision now or an action now. What could happen in 10 years time? Or what could happen in 20 years time? Or stuff like this, you know? And in the last 2 years alone, Ciara, honestly, through my life experiences, I've been writing movies. And I believe my movies would actually touch the world. Honestly, in a way. These are not long movies. These are like short movies. You know, they're short movies in relation to common society issues. You know, you want to talk about movies about depression, you know, movies about loneliness, you know, movies about, you know, many things, relationship, you know, about marriage, about breakups, about different stuff. They're 10, 20 minutes long movies. I really can't wait for this to come out someday, you know, when everything will be back to normal, you know. The whole idea of this, sorry, go on.
No, you're okay. The whole, maybe we're going to say the same thing. The idea of this, you know, specifically now, currently, when you're talking about, say, the whole single mother, single father, absent fathers, whatever, you know, I think one of the things to really look at as well is usually there's a reason. Usually inside in that situation, there's a reason. And the reasons can be multiple. Nobody necessarily is an angel in a relationship, okay? So we're not going to start off by saying that. And sometimes one person can be a disaster and the other person can be okay, and vice versa. And we're not putting any blame on any person, because we can all do things that just aren't right in the moment. But when you're bringing things like this and topics like this to the table, and you're encouraging people to actually grow and to learn and to become more self-aware and to evolve into the best version of themselves, which is what you've been doing. It's how you've gotten to where you've gotten to, because you may have not been the best person here, but today and going forward, this is this new, incredibly evolved, learned person that you have become. And 100%. So to show men and boys that the potential is there for them to be their best selves. And so by being their best selves, they're not going to do these, you know, crazy things or bad things. So I think it's really important to highlight the fact that this won't only be about conversation about, you know, this is my experience and this is what I've done. This will be about people being able to see how to learn and how to grow and how to evolve. 100%. And I think that...
Can I add to that as well? Can I add to this, Ciara? You see, we could do this interview every day for the next 1 month, Ciara, honestly. And every day for the next 1 month, and we will have the opportunity to talk about different topics. And we can do this for the next 1 year. I can promise you, we would have opportunity to talk about different topics relating to CSI. And I really want to emphasize on this a lot. And the reason why I'm saying this is that just because of my personal experiences coming on board or setting this, I don't want the public to actually think that, you know what, oh, it's just another single father coming up to set up or do something like this on, you know, or just crying out as a single mother. I am not crying out or anything like this for any, you know, or crying out, I'm this single father, or I need help, I did, like some fathers or some people may have done in the past that gets them nowhere. But here, we actually want to make changes, you know, because there are many things affecting us mentally. And there are many people going through mental health issues that arise from all different type of, issues that we go through in life on a daily basis. You know, like you want to talk about domestic abuse alone itself. So I'm not here. This is not a single father channel or a single mother channel. It is a channel for every problem, for everything. You know, it's just a story of a single father that set it up. So please, I just want everyone to understand that this is not a single father channel for single father topics. You know, if you get me, that's why I wanted to add to what you said there about, you know.
And something to jump in there with. So with regards to that, you are going to be bringing topics to the front. So you're going to be talking about maybe divorce, mental health, domestic abuse, single fathers, single mothers, suicide, sexual abuse, whatever comes up. There's going to be a multitude of topics that we will be able to click into, see what's developing, see what people's opinions and thoughts are, see what people's experiences are, and have conversation around. And I know that because I know that you've created the most incredible system of groups where people can actually go in and look at different topics depending on what relates to them. So who are you looking for when it comes to helping you with this project? And I mean on the back end, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's social media, maybe it's administration, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's advertising. Who are you looking for to come on board and help with this specifically?
Okay, I'm looking for so many people on board actually, to be honest with you, because like I said, I've done this on a few live videos before that I will be announcing or talking about the type of help style I need, you know, and thank you for this great question, Ciara. You know, it's not something I thought you will be asking me at the interview here. So I'm just going to think on top of my head for now. But maybe after this, I might have to actually maybe make a separate video and actually maybe add on to this video or something, you know, but on top of my head, you know, like this platform, my vision for this platform is very, very, very huge and very big. I don't know if anyone can see this, you know, in the way that I see it. You know, I can't even imagine it myself, but I know myself where this is going, and I need a lot of help from different people, from different organizations, from, you know, from different ways in a way, you know. This might not be monetized right now, or maybe I have any funding right now from a funding project from any company right now, but I need people that will be able to come on board and support and volunteer and come on board right now. And maybe we can do something together in return or so, you know, maybe in return they can have an advertisement on my platform, on this platform in a way, or maybe showcase themselves as well, maybe as presenters, you know, on this platform or something like that. But for now, maybe I'm looking for people that can really, really help on social media, you know, and help us promote CSI and the cause of what we do on social media as well, you know. I'm looking for actually presenters. I'm looking for different presenters, you know, maybe it could be students, it could be anyone, like, you know, maybe looking to a way that they can actually present themselves and present common society issues. Like in future, when this pandemic is over as well, we'll be looking for different actors that will be using the Game Changer Multimedia Studios to actually film different movies. You know, we'll be getting we'll be looking for people that don't mind to actually allow us to use their house, and we'll be renting some places as well, maybe around that time, you know, to make short movies, you know, to start off with, because like I said, I have a big vision. We're gonna have to have some samples that we created, you know, and this is where my area of expertise is, you know. That's why we built the Game Changer Multimedia Studios as well, not only for taking photographies or maybe for doing some of our TV shows, but we actually be doing some movie stuff in there as well, you know.
Okay. So I think that's really brilliant. I just want to focus on that for a second. So so what you're looking for is voluntary support from people, maybe in social media and maybe presenters. And then on the back end of that, you're going to offer them advertisement, which I think is really good, because what people tend to find is advertisements can cost a lot.
We have to work together. We have to work together right now. There's so many things I can do myself as well, you know. I actually need someone like I need blog writers as well, because on our website now, we want to be writing stories. And that's not what I'm good at. You know, I can't be good at everything. You know, I'm good at making videos, taking pictures and doing this. Right now, one of the most important people I need is blog writers. You know, people that can write stories for me and stuff like that as well, you know. Many things, many people.
With that in mind, let's So maybe we ask today for bloggers, for people who can write you content and write stories. We ask for social media help, and we ask for presenters and actors to come forward too, because I mean, right now it would be great to start making a list of these people who can come on board and help. And then whoever gets in
100%.
contact with you, how can they contact you? How can they get in touch?
Oh yeah, all they have to do is just visit our website,
And what's the website for?
www.commonsocietyissues.com, and go to the contact us page there. They'll see the email address there, info@commonsocietyissues.com. So if
Okay,
anyone wants to
brilliant.
send us an email, they can send us an email directly, and if they're contacting us, please give us as much information as you can about who you are and what you would like to do with us, or how you would like to help us. Give us as much information so we can draw down the list of people that are coming on board as well.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I have nothing but the best and the most admiration for you. I think what you're doing
Thank
is
you.
outstanding. And
Thank
for
you so much.
anybody who is listening and for everybody who is watching, jump on board, because this is going places. Get in contact with Blake and let him know if you might like to do an interview with him, and get in touch if you can provide any kind of support at all. I think it's a very worthwhile project to jump on board
Thank you.
for. So
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so
Yeah.
much for coming and doing the interview with me. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Ciara, as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate for you coming
Welcome.
on board as well. Thank you,
Yay.
and
Have an awesome day.
you too. Have a wonderful one. So guys, thank you so much for watching the interview today. That's one of the first interviews of myself today, and I'm sure there will be so many more to come in the coming weeks, coming months and years to come. So there will be many more interviews I will be doing, and we will be talking on related topics as well, and how we can better our society. So thank you all for tuning in, and please come back next week, as we will be having more interviews with more guests as well. And what else again? Please don't forget to share this video and share all our contents, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channels, like, comment, let us know your thoughts. We really want to know your thoughts on society issues and things that we discussed earlier in this. Please, we really want to understand your thoughts and how we can improve and better ourselves as well. So please comment, share, subscribe, like, and support us. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic day, and we will see you again next week. Thank you.